Imagine walking into a bank, no job, no assets, no real money in your account. And yet, the bank treats you like a millionaire. You get VIP treatment, luxury perks, and an account balance that shows millions, even though in reality, you have nothing. Sounds like a movie plot, right? Well, this actually happened, and the man behind this insane scheme never went to jail. But how did he do it? Was it a genius loophole, a scam, or something even bigger? And most importantly, could someone still pull this off today? Stay with me till the end, because the way this story ends will blow your mind. Meet Gerald, an average guy with no connections to the underworld, no hacking skills, and no secret fortune. But what he did have was an insane level of intelligence and a trick so simple, yet so dangerous that it fooled the banking system itself. Think about it. Banks are supposed to be the smartest institutions, right? But somehow, this one guy outplayed them, and they didn't even realize it until it was too late. Gerald was struggling financially. He was drowning in bills when one day he had an idea that would change everything. If I don't have money, why not create it? No. He wasn't thinking about printing fake cash. He found a way to manipulate banks into believing he was already rich. And the method? A legal loophole hidden in plain sight. Gerald's plan was deceptively simple, but dangerously effective. Here's how it worked. He opened 2 bank accounts, one in Bank A and another in Bank B. He wrote a check from Bank A to himself and deposited it in Bank B. Before Bank B could verify if the check was real, he withdrew the money. He repeated this cycle over and over, creating fake money out of thin air. Sounds confusing? Let me break it down. Imagine if you wrote a check to yourself for $10,000, deposited it into another bank, and before the first bank realizes you don't actually have that money, you already spend it. And Gerald, he didn't just do this with $10,000. He scaled it up to millions. I mean, technically, the banks also create money out of thin air, so maybe Gerald just returned the favor. But here's the real shocker. This trick was completely legal at the time. You might be wondering, wait, why didn't the banks just stop him? Well, here's the scary part. Banks work on a system called float time, a short delay before transactions are fully verified. Gerald exploited this tiny delay to keep his scam going. By the time one bank realized his check was worthless, he had already moved the money somewhere else. And since banks don't communicate instantly, they kept approving his transactions. At this point, Gerald wasn't just rich, he was a fake millionaire. Okay, let's be honest. If Gerald had put this much effort into a real business, he'd probably be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company by now. But then, he made one critical mistake. And that mistake, that's what led to his downfall. One day, Gerald decided to go big. He tried to cash one final check, a massive amount that would have set him up for life. But this time, something was wrong. The bank was taking too long to process it. Why? Because this time, the system flagged his account for suspicious transactions. Before Gerald could move his money, his accounts were frozen. No more fake millions. No more withdrawals. No escape. At this point, everyone thought, okay, this guy's definitely going to jail. But what happened next shocked the entire world. Gerald was arrested. But in court, he pulled off one last trick. He argued, I never stole any money. I just used the banking system's own rules. If the banks took too long to verify funds, that's their fault, not mine. And guess what? The court agreed. Since he technically never broke any laws, he was released without a single day in jail. Bro, imagine scamming millions and walking away like, oops, my bad. So the question remains, was Gerald a genius who exposed the system's flaws? Or was he just a con man who got lucky? One thing's for sure, banks changed their policies forever because of him. But here's something even weirder, Gerald at least existed. But what if I told you about a man who appeared in official records, but in real life, he never existed at all? That's the insane mystery we uncover in my next video. The Man Who Never Existed, a mind-bending mystery. Click on the screen now and prepare to have your reality shattered.